So I guess just like a day or two ago, like, because James Gunn and that Peter Safran guy, they're now head of like the DC creative. So apparently they put the kibosh on Wonder Woman 3. So no Gal Gadot Wonder Woman 3, which personally I'm okay with because even though I kind of like the first one, that second one that we reviewed on this show, if you're interested, was pretty rough. The Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah, I think you guys made me watch that one.
We did.
Rough, yeah.
It was pretty rough.
Which, yeah, I mean, yeah.
But the other, and I'll read this article here about James Gunn too, but I don't know if this has been substantiated. The rumor is that Man of Steel 2 now probably isn't happening either. Like, even though Henry Cavill was Superman in that Black Adam, like, post-credit scene. Mm. But it sounds like they might still be using those actors. So, like, the other rumor, too, is, like, Aquaman 2 will be the last Aquaman movie, which, fingers crossed, that rumor's true. But then there's a rumor that, like, they could recast Jason Mamoa as Lobo.
I heard about that.
Which, look, if you're going to have an on-screen Lobo, like, he is a good choice. But to me, like, Lobo is one of those characters I always thought was kind of one note, and I never really cared about him. So I can't say I'm excited to see an on-screen Lobo. But, hey, if they're going to do it, that's interesting. But does that mean... You would think if that's true, and who the hell knows... that there's got to be like a multiversal thing to explain why, this guy that looks just like Aquaman in one universe is Lobo in another or something. I don't know. But I'll read this Hollywood Reporter article about it. James Gunn has responded to a story published in the Hollywood Reporter addressing the future of DC Studios ahead of a presentation next week in which he and partner Peter Safran will share their vision with Warner Brothers Discovery boss David Zaslav. So, as far as the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true. And I think that article is kind of referencing those things about, like Wonder Woman, Superman, Jason Momoa, all that kind of stuff. And some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. Although this first month of DC has been fruitful, building the next 10 years of story takes time, and we're still just beginning. The THR story published Wednesday reported that Patty Jenkins' iteration of Wonder Woman 3 would not be moving forward and raised the possibility that actors such as Henry Cavill and Jason Mamoa could be done as Superman and Aquaman, respectively, with Mamoa perhaps playing a different DC character down the road. Peter and I chose to helm DC Studios knowing we were coming into a fractious environment, both in the stories being told and in the audience itself, and there would be an unavoidable transitional period as we moved into telling a cohesive story across film, TV, animation, and gaming. Gunn continued on Twitter, but in the end, the drawbacks of that transitional period were dwarfed by the creative possibilities and the opportunity to build upon what has worked in DC so far and to help rectify what has not.
What has worked? Batman?
I mean, I think Man of Steel was good, but even that a lot of people don't like. So, yeah, I don't know. We know we are not going to make every single person happy every step of the way, but we can promise everything we do is done in the service of the story and in the service of the DC characters we know you will cherish and we have cherished our whole lives. Gunn, who directed The Suicide Squad for DC and Warner Brothers, as well as created the HBO Max series Peacemaker, both of which we reviewed on this show if you're interested, began his job as co-chair and co-CEO of DC Studios on November 1st. As for more answers about the future of the DCU, I will sadly have to ask you to wait. We are giving these characters and stories the time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have a lot more questions to ask and answer. In addition to his duties at DC, Gunn has Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 due out in May. He and Safran take over from Walter Hamada, who oversaw DC films since 2018 during another period of transition, following the departure of franchise architect Zack Snyder. Warner's has 4 DC films made under the previous regime due out next year: Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. which originally was supposed to come out like right around right now.
I can't say any of that sounds great.
No, out of those four, like the only one I'm interested in is the Flash. Not even because I think it's probably going to be that quality, but because I think it's probably going to have the most impact on the future. Because I got to imagine, like, if they're kind of even sort of wiping the slate clean, that's the movie to use to do it.
Yeah, I would think so.
But it's hard telling. I mean, I think Shazam will be fine. I don't think, just like the first one, I think it'll be fine, but I don't think it'll be great. Blue Beetle, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, they're advertising it like it's a big deal. It's weird.
Yeah, originally it was just going to be one of those like straight to HBO Max things like the Batgirl movie was going to, but I don't know. And then I really didn't like the first Aquaman, but we'll see what they can do with the second one, I guess. But I don't know, like we've talked about this a lot, but they're in a weird spot, and it's like I don't know how they keep, like, he's talking about like, whoa, we want to expand upon the things that have worked, but fix the other stuff, and it's like I don't know how you do that. Like since he's in control of the Peacemaker show and he directed the Suicide Squad, I'm sure he's going to protect those properties and not say, oh, those didn't happen. So it's like, how does he say that those happened? And like, And remember in Peacemaker, there was that episode where Ezra Miller's Flash and Jason Momoa's Aquaman showed up. So it's not like you can say like they're not linked.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So like, I don't know. I think they're definitely going to have some sort of event that mishmashes this stuff in the way they want it to, but it's going to be tricky.
Right now, I don't feel they have anything going that they couldn't just drop and start over.
I feel that same way. In fact,
I wouldn't care.
I think that would actually be my preference, even though like I like some of that stuff. Like I agree. I think it would be better just to wipe the slate completely clean.
But I don't want to start again with like Superman's origin story again. I don't need that kind of shit.
Batman's parents getting killed over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to do a different spin on it, those origins I think you can skip over. I will say though, I remember like when Man of Steel came out, like they showed in the preview like Krypton, like, and I was like, oh god, they're gonna show this again. But I actually really liked that first segment on Krypton, Man of Steel. So it's like, I don't know if they can do an interesting take on an origin, I'm cool with it. But like you guys said, I think Superman and Batman especially, like everybody knows how those characters came to be. We don't really need to spend any time on it.
So, I mean, they might scrap those movies, but I wonder if they're going to keep the same actors.
See, that's what I was wondering, because, like, it's weird, though, that they would then, well, maybe it's bullshit, the rumor that they would recast Momoa as, like, a different character then. Because if they did that, then it gets really confusing, I think. But if they were just like, okay, like, this stuff happened in a different universe, now it's this universe, they're the same characters, and we get I mean, I would like to see more Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all could have done better, like with better storylines,
And even though I don't mind Ben Affleck as Batman, like, I think I'd prefer seeing someone else.
I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe he could do a better job if we give him like better stuff to work with. I feel bad that he like didn't get a good clean shot at playing Batman. I felt like it was just
it was kind of marred by the whole Batman v Superman stuff. And
I mean, but he's a rich guy. He's got plenty of good luck on his side, so whatever.
Not feeling too sorry for him. But,
you guys ever see like it seems like anytime they take a candid shot of Ben Affleck, it's just like him being like completely shit out, like smoking or something. There's the meme, but there's like other pictures as well. It's just like this guy is like done on life.